Hey there, creative people! This is the first episode from this year, and let's take a quick preview. So, as much as you can see here, all the animation interactions are taking place in just one artboard, thanks to the component state that Adobe introduced into the software, I think last year. Yeah. So, why it's super important to understand how do they work, how you can work with them, how you can implement them in your daily routine, and you will see a super big improvement in your workflow. So you know the drill, the file is down in the description, you just need to download and you can get started. As you can see here, this is the file. Yeah, my mic is recording. Okay, this is the file. Let's take a quick preview again. So you can see what's happening inside. We have one, another one. This is the second animation. Those two have the same state, the same interaction. This has a different one, and the big super menu, which has a bit of delay for the inside elements. As you can see, this and this are moving much more faster than the background itself. Okay, so let me just increase this is the background for the artboard. So first thing first, select everything and hit delete. Let's just keep the artboard, and as a background for the artboard you can just use this color, which can we add it to our guide, and I can name it background, just BG for background. We have our the default grid, which is fine for now. We're gonna use it as it is, and as you can see, let me just make a new copy. This is the component for the menu. Yeah, maybe some of you will say I can just mask this part, and so it's not visible this right now as it is right now. We can just have just the menu and everything is masked, but that's another option. But I just did it like so. We'll have time to discuss about those components also. What we want to drag in our let me just move it like here. We want to make a copy of our three products, and we will place them as they are, each product on a 4 column. Let's see, let's say 80 pixel padding to the bottom, which works good. Let's quickly add our logo. This is a custom thing that I just made. It's not real. Let's right click, align to pixel grid. No, we don't want to align to pixel grid. We just want to delete these values and have 100 pixel between the top of the artboard and the top of the logo. 100 works. Between them, we really don't care. This is another cool thing. As you can see, I made it. I see a lot of fashion websites, fashion designers have their own, I don't know how you can name it, monogram. It's not really a monogram. It's just a branding thing that a lot of them uses. Okay, what do we need to add? It's our back and forth. If we want to have a slider here, maybe in the future, maybe you can create a slider and you can use those arrows. Let's say 40 between them, 1, 2, 40. And that's another thing. that you can work around. As you can see, many of all of them, no, not all of them, most of them, when they have the back arrow, they have just back and next or forward or previous. Just try to be a bit more creative. I don't know, we want more to see, I need to go back. Just our minor detail that can make a very big difference. This text, I had in mind that it can be, I don't know, maybe a description. It can be a good description, which can we placed it right in the middle, and let's see, 3 rows in the right, 3 rows in the left, 3 columns, sorry. And oh yeah, this super big typography section part, which we can add it right here outside the grid. It doesn't really matter if the text doesn't fit the artboard. I think it looks very cool as it is right now. You can use it as a scroll guide if you want to create a scroll page, so the users know that they can find more when they scroll down the page. You can indicate that. It's also a good, very good sign. And the super big menu, just make a copy, add it as it is just here, hold shift and press left, and hold shift press right, and we moved the entire group, I think, with 16 pixels from the original position. If you press shift and the direction key, it moves the exact value which is set here, 16. If we set 20, the element will move 20 pixels to any direction. So another thing that I think I missed, yeah, the social media stuff. Let's use the basic one that I think everybody knows. If you prefer other social media, I don't know, it doesn't really came to my mind others. Oops, Instagram. You can find me also on Instagram. We can chat there. Again, aligning to the column, hold shift and right, and we have 16 pixels moved. I think this looks super good. I think we can decrease by 60, let's say 50 pixels, move all of those, 20 pixels. Oh yeah, I think I'm sorry, I think it's just 10. Let's see. Yeah, it's 10, not the value from the gutter width. It's just 10 pixels. I think I did something. Yeah, sorry, it's just 10 pixels, not 16. My bad. Oops, it went crazy. And well, that's I forgot to turn on the camera. So pretty much we have built the web, the home page, we can say, just the upper part above the fold. with some super simple components which you can also use in your other projects. You can just copy this component from here, replace the image, replace the text, and you have an already created component, and also the menu. So let's quickly check how our layers are placed. Oh, and I forgot the dividing lines. Those are some super thin lines that we want to place them between the gutter, and we need to have 8 pixels. Yeah, need to align them. 8 8 super. Here is super aligned. Let's double check here. 16. Yeah, we want to add another in between, another line in between them. Let's say 8 8. Perfect. And we want add another one here. We have 10, 1 2, we have 8. And I think that's it. Let's see how our layers are placed, because we need to have the menu underneath the lines, the dividing separation lines. The menu is here. The social media, we can create a group, save some space, we can name it social. This is the collection, super big title. The description, what is group, let's name it next. It's super simple. And back, the monogram or the circle logo, the main logo, and the product slide, the product components 1 2 and 3, and that's it. I really don't know if we should have the menu above, underneath the dividing lines. We can just put it above, so we don't have any issues. Okay, super simple, all great. We have just placed some components. I saw here we have an issue. If you go inside, we have an overlay. No, we need to select the component, and on hover, I think the overlay here is super intense, and we just want to decrease it to 33. Because all of them have, yeah, I think I missed that. So let's take this and this and put them apart. So let's see how this component was built. So when you create a component, you will have the default state and the hover state afterwards. You can just select it. Let me just show you. Let's say this is a component. You can right click, make component, and you will see here default state. You hit the plus as to add another state and add an hover state. And what do we want to happen in the hover state is to, I don't know, make it longer and red. Now you need to go to prototype, and you can see here all the easing and the duration, the actions. From default state we have an ease out with a duration at 0.3, we want to increase it 0.6. The trigger it's on hover, or you can use it as a tap. Super intuitive. Let's say hover, and from hover we want to add a new interaction. Also you can choose from tap to hover, destination default state, this one, because we want to transition from hover to default. Easing, ease out 0.6, perfect. Let's create an artboard where all the things can play and happen. And you can see when you just hover, the animation starts. And since we let it on hover, we need to go on default state and let it as it is from the start. And you can see, as long as we are the mouse inside, the transition is staying, and when you go outside, it's going back. And here you can use a tap or a hover. Super cool. And regarding this one, let's ungroup component and let's deconstruct it. We have a shadow behind the image, as you can see here, just the same rectangle size with a drop shadow. If you go inside the product, we have a mask and a picture which I had masked, so I can create different. This is the overlay. Yeah, I masked it because I just wanted to create a more interesting effect. When you hover, I don't know, we can just decrease the image, increase it. Don't have a fixed image because you will get in trouble when you want to do that. Have a big image, scale it so the detail and quality stays there. So this is a masked image where I can play with the image inside. If I want to move it like so, I don't know, change the position, move it as on a hover, I don't know, move it left, right. So yeah, let's hide it. The shadow, let's hide it. And I think this is the component as a default state, just the image. What we wanted to happen on the hover, I think since we ungroup it as a component, we want to add an overlay, which was to 33%. And on default, it was on 0, 1. And on hover, it went to 33. What do we have here? I think this is the hover. Yeah. Here we have the, let's ungroup the mask. We have the description and the title, which on the default state they were hidden by reducing the opacity to 0. And having them as a group, as you can see here, they're grouped. I masked them with a rectangle. Let me demonstrate. We masked them. This one I just reduced the opacity, and the title I put it above the mask. Also the button, where is it? Is here, it's beneath the mask. On the default state, and when you hover, we just moved this back, we put the opacity back and the title back again. And this happens when you hover the component. Yeah, I did a lot of things inside. And this the same thing. This is a hover, this is default. And here I created a different thing, more exactly the product. As you can see, I have two products. When you hover, they just move to the left, and this image will be main focus. They're just grouped and masked with a rectangle. The same thing, we have an overlay. I just use this purple from the little purse, but in the default state the overlay has zero opacity. Again, the mask where we have the CTA, add to cart, title, price, description, which in the default state are grouped and moved outside the mask with the opacity reduced to 0. Those are just simple animations and things to do. I hope I explained it well, and if you didn't really understood, go just deconstruct the component by yourself and try to understand on your own which is better, because you will understand it way better. And same issue with the menu, default hover, default hover. As you can see what's happening, this is the default issue, and this is the final transition. And also another cool and super interesting thing that we can do right now is to go into the menu, into the default state. I think this is the menu collection. Just hold shift and move it to the very right here, and also move the categories to the very right. You can just align them as they are, and I think the sale, you can move it, and we can create a delayed transition. That's super cool. Check it out. Did you see? Super nice. So this was it for today. Try to explore what I did, break down the components, try to understand on your own, because you will get it much more better than any other explanation. So hit me up with any message, any questions on Instagram or here on YouTube. And till next time, take care, and see you next time. Goodbye.